Urban Therapy with Sun752. This your daily go-getterism number 491 for February 6, 2016. The Mind, Right, and Body Better Fitness program was today blazing as usual. You know what I'm saying? We getting our exercise on, baby. It's the truth. Tonight I want to talk to the parents. Tonight we want to talk about parental guilt. Parental guilt. What kind of parent that's concerned about the job that they're doing as a parent doesn't ever feel any type of parental guilt? It doesn't necessarily have to be over something that you've done in a malicious way. It's, you know, you can feel parental guilt over a lot of things, but the thing that most parents question themselves about and may experience feeling some guilt about is whether they've done an effective enough job raising their children. We question ourselves when we raise our kids. We have to. And it's a good thing for us to question ourselves when we raise our children, because it gives us an evaluation, a report card, similar to the one that we would expect to get good grades on when we were in school, and that we expect our children to get good grades on when we put them in school. And parental guilt is one of those things that we can feel. We can feel when our children don't do well in school. So often when our children don't do well in school, or when they're disruptive, they have a lot of disciplinary problems in school, when there is nothing wrong with them mentally, when they don't have problems that need medication, so to speak, we wonder, well, let me just put it like this. Oftentimes when kids are acting up in school, it's because of what's going on at home. 9 times out of 10, it has a lot to do with what's going on at home. Especially when children have previously done really well in school and have been very attentive and have not had any disciplinary problems, then all of a sudden they're acting out and acting up. Talking back, cursing, getting into fights. A lot of times that has a lot to do with what's going on in the home. And parents feel guilt about that because they know that the kids are acting up because of mommy and daddy at home fighting, or going through depression, maybe being abusive, not necessarily physically, but sometimes that too, but being emotionally abusive because of the things that we're going through and we don't know how to handle them. But we have children to raise and they sort of get caught in the crossfire. And also, when we feel so much shame over the things that we've done in the past, you know, everyone has a past. Every single person has a past. Some are a little grimier than others, but nonetheless, we all have a past. We all have some things that we've done in our past that we are not so not so proud of. We're ashamed of it. Some of us are so ashamed of it that we hope that it never gets out. Many of us have moved away so we don't have to ever be reminded of the things that we did in the past. But the past catches up to us, and sometimes it manifests itself in our children. So when we see them displaying behaviors that we did previously, you know what I mean? It's almost like we gotta hold our head in shame, like, oh man, teenage pregnancy. What parent doesn't feel guilt over their teen becoming pregnant when they know that they were pregnant? They were pregnant as a teen. What parent doesn't feel guilt over that? It's hard not to. It's not all your fault. You know, things happen. But as a concerned parent that wants the best for their children, how you gonna not feel guilt over that? The important thing is not to beat yourself up over that, because you're gonna have to be the grandparent who is probably the parent when that situation presents itself, if this situation presents itself. And I ain't wishing that on nobody. I'm just saying, millions have had to deal with that situation. It is what it is. So, you know, dealing with these types of situations, because we want the best for our kids, because we want to fill in the blanks that we didn't have when we were children. Like if we grew up without having money in the house, without being able to enjoy material items and things like that, of course we want that for our kids. And sometimes we give so much of that to our kids that we forget to teach them the true value of things. We give them without them ever having to work for it. And I don't mean necessarily having to do physical work for it, but having to make sure that they understand the process in which gifts are given. Gifts are supposed to be given as a reward for certain things, not just because little Tommy or Donna won't stop throwing a tantrum and acting a fool if they don't get what they want. Because regardless of the way we look at it, we teach our kids to be spoiled. It ain't their fault. We enable that. So if we facilitate them with the things that they want every time they act a fool, stomp, fall out and go crazy, they're basically bullying us, and we succumb to their bullying. Once a child realizes that something works, they do it over and over and over again. And once a child realizes that something won't work, they cut it out. So ask yourself, if you have a disruptive child when they don't get what they want, how they act. And you'll know the job that you've been doing. Now, you can sit around, pout about it, bitch about it, and lament over it, put your hands in your head, and your head in your hands, and just cry about it. Or you can go about fixing the situation, and it's never too late to fix anything that you've broken. You broke it early, you have to fix it late. You may not complete the fix, but you can get the ball started, the ball rolling. And you need to do that in order to be able to shake off that guilt. You're not going to tell me that with all of these children that get incarcerated, some of them being tried as adults, having to go to group homes and things like that, you're not going to tell me that those parents did an effective job. They didn't do a good job. Now, if those parents fail to blame themselves and they don't feel any guilt, first of all, I don't believe that. I believe that when the cameras wrap and go, you close that dressing room door and you in there all by yourself, I believe that every person who knows that they have fucked up shed some tears. I believe that they wipe them tears and act hard when they go back out there in the public. Because it's very easy to stay in denial. But the reality of the situation is always present. And you know whether you've done a good job or if you haven't. Listen, parents. Some of us parents have done some really fucked up things concerning our kids. I don't have to go into all of that. Y'all, you as parents know what you have done and what people that you know have done. Some of the shit is like really, really foul. However, it's never really too late. You can fix what you've broken, but you'll never fix anything if you don't own up to what you have done. You have to take accountability. Sort of like what we talked about a couple of videos ago. Nothing is ever your fault. Whereas a parent, a lot of shit is your fault. But it ain't all your fault. It ain't all the kids' fault for messing up, and it ain't all your fault for messing them up. But we all have to take that responsibility, and you're the adult. So you got to take more of the responsibility. It's like that. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, you are a parent. You are responsible for the life of a baby coming straight out of the womb until they get old enough to be able to be pushed out of the nest. Some of us push them out of the nest a little too soon. And some of us don't give them the tools to ever be pushed out of the nest. We are accountable for that. We will be held accountable for it. And we have to learn how to do better. One of the ways that we can do better is to ask other people how they have done things and ask for advice. Stop trying to be Superman, Superwoman, Super Dad, Super Mom. You are a human being, flesh and blood. You can only do the best that you can, and the best that you can do is based on what you know. If you don't put enough in knowledge-wise, then you won't be able to put out enough wisdom-wise. And that's that. But it's going to be alright. Whatever's broken, go back and try to fix that shit. Own up to your guilt. Face your guilt. Just like we have to face our fears sometimes. And I holler at y'all, man. The Mind, Right, and Body Better Fitness program was all that today. It's always all that. I'll see y'all in the videos later on. Peace.